Hello everyone. Good afternoon and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Maan and from Life Coach Philippines, and this is coaching for a healthy mind space. This coaching conversation that we have today is for individuals who desire to take charge of their lives and be obedient to the purpose and calling of the Lord through the renewing of their minds. It is also my mission to help people navigate through life's challenges and help them get unstuck with their emotions, their thoughts, all the other things that are cluttering their mind to be able to live a full and abundant life submitted to the purposes of God and His will. I would like to thank you for joining me live this afternoon. Please leave your digital footprint by letting me know where you are watching me from at the comment section. Do invite your family and friends also who you think will benefit from our conversation today. I would really love it if they could join us, and if you can also circulate this video to who you think will benefit from this. Excuse me. I am streaming via the Facebook page of Life Coach Philippines, and we are also live in YouTube through the Coach I Connect channel. Now, if you haven't really liked or followed any of our page, please do so. We really appreciate having you see and take advantage of the contents that we put up here. And also, as we go through our conversation this afternoon, I would like to encourage you to share whatever it is that you will get from our conversations, and do share it through your timelines with these hashtags: hashtag pack my bag moment, hashtag coaching think talk, and also you can include a healthy mind space so that I would know it came from our conversation today. So let me introduce myself. I am Coach Maan Lamorena, and I am a certified life coach. I am also a happy wife and a mother to a 3-year-old daughter and a human to 7 dogs. I worked in the corporate industry for 10 years before I switched to freelancing when I moved here in Mindanao from Manila. And I am a licensed football and futsal coach from the Asian Football Confederation, and also a budding triathlete. So, for the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about the healthy mind space. And I know some of you are probably wondering, why do we need a healthy mind space? Diba? Pag inisip natin, para saan ba yun? Parang first time kata marinig yun eh. But really, all of life's battles are first won or lost in the mind. I believe that. And so, that's why we've been talking about it for the past 3 weeks. We talked about the value and benefit of having a healthy mind space through the renewing of our minds, because this is important for us, as our thoughts are connected to our emotions, and our emotions dictate our behavior that becomes our habits. And these habits, in turn develop into our character. So today, before I dive into our conversation, I would like to ask this question from you. What is your picture of mental strength? What is mental strength? Ano ba yung idea nyo of mental strength? And feel free to share your answers in the comment section. I would like to know, ano ba yung naiisip nyo pag naririnig nyo yan? So, sige. I'll give you a few minutes. And then, before I when I was preparing for this talk today, I've asked a few people about this. And I asked him, ano ba ang idea niyo ng mental strength? And some of the people answered me with these two images. Yung isa, he answered me, sabi niya, ang naalala daw niya yung talk ni Samuel L. Jackson as Coach Carter dun sa movie na Coach Carter. Yung talagang pinapump up niya yung team niya para manalo sila kasi underdogs. And then the other person replied and told me na ang naaalala niya dito si Bethany Hamilton. There was a movie created about her life, yung Soul Surfer. So she was a professional surfer, and then her arm was bitten off in a shark attack. And yun nga, but he continued to surf, and he still won mga awards and recognitions even after nung event niya na yun. So being a former varsity athlete myself and a sports coach, nung narinig ko din, yung unang-una ko narinig noon ng mental strength, ang naisip ko talaga noon, eto, Diba? Yung training ng military or yung Navy SEAL, diba sinasabi nga nila, grabe, one of the toughest trainings talaga yung mga yan. And then, another image that comes to mind is, yan, yung sa gym, diba? Bodybuilding, talagang yung mga may muscles and all that. And also, as a football coach, like Lionel Messi, one of the greatest, di ba? So talaga naisip ko yung mga peak performance, mga elite athletes, yan. Parang it's people and athletes or, in whatever role that you have who are pushing themselves to their limits to achieve that peak performance, yung sinasabi nga natin. I want to share this picture of myself. That was in 2019 when I joined a triathlon event in Dipolog City. It was actually my first triathlon race after being diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And as you can see in my face, yan, nagpipilit lang po akong ngumiti niyan, pero kabadong-kabado po talaga ako. Kaya ako nag-iisa, nagmumuni-muni, di ba? Niisip ko, hala, paano ba to? The backstory with this is that 3 days before this race, I got in an accident na sige, too much information yata to. Pero I got a really big wound in my right foot na nahiwa yung balat. And I had to get stitches for that. So the doctor also advised me na dapat yung wound closely, talagang naka-close siya with the bandages. It cannot get wet kasi nga mai-infect siya. So dapat talaga iwasang mabasa. So syempre, that was what was in my mind the whole time na nandito ako sa picture na to. Diba? Inisip ko yan, hala, paano ko siya hindi babasain? Diba? During the swim leg. For those of you who are not familiar with triathlon, there are 3 legs. The first is swim, and then bike, and then run. You cannot advance to the next leg if hindi mo natapos yung first event. So yan, ako yan. That was me. Inisip ko, paano talaga mababasa? But anyway, since wala akong choice, dahil nandyan na ako, pumunta na ako, sayang naman yung preparation ko, I reasoned to myself that the only way na hindi talaga mababasa yung paa ko is the sooner I finish the swim part, the sooner I can get out of the water. Meaning, pag binilisan ko lumangoy, mas makakaalis ako agad, makaka-proceed na ako, di ba? And lesser chances na mabasa siya talaga and mapasok yung bandage. Also, fear ko din ang waters. Kasi lagi ko nai-imagine yung mga creature na hihila sa legs ko. So, just imagine, these are the thoughts that are in my mind. And hindi ko talaga alam nun, parang, paano ba ako magsusurvive? But anyway, long story short, I survived and I finished. So that was me. I finished the race with no other injuries and praise the Lord, hindi talaga napasok ng tubig yung bandage ko. And I even got third. I finished 3rd place dun sa category na sinalihan ko. So, all's well that ends well. But why am I sharing this story? I share this story because many times we encounter situations in our lives that are unexpected. Diba? Hindi mo naman talaga, marami talaga mga bagay na hindi mo maiiwasan. And it is our response to these unexpected moments that sharpen our mental strength. And when our mental strength is sharpened, this develops our mental toughness and it allows us to have positive and good mental health. So today, I want to talk about how we can be tough and how we can bulletproof ourselves from life's unexpected moments. So actually, before pa na-coin yung term na mental toughness or mental strength, diba yun nga yung tanong ko kanina, this idea was already being used in sports psychology. But in 2002, there were 3 researchers who gave it an academic definition. So sabi nga nila, mental strength is having the natural or developed psychological edge that enables you to generally cope better than your opponents with the many demands, such as competition, training, and lifestyle, and also the sport places on a performer. Also, it is specifically being more consistent and better than your opponent in remaining determined, focused, confident, and in control under pressure. So very academic nga, di ba? But that is a mouthful. So to put it simply, this is what mental toughness is. Mental toughness is the ability to be resilient against unexpected stressors. It's the ability to stay strong and function well in the face of doubt, anxiety, and unexpected turn of events that are outside of your control. So, given this definition, we can actually say that mental toughness, though first used in the domain of sport, is also very much applicable in other aspects of our lives, whether it be the work, in health, leadership, and even our day-to-day life. So, yon. Now that we have a working definition of what mental toughness is, let us look at the common myths people have about it. Diba? Kasi nga, yung iba, first time lang nila marinig. So, pag narinig nila mental strength, mental toughness, eto yon. So, now let's go to the common myths and misconceptions. Myth 1. Mental strength is something you either have or you don't. Diba? Yun. But chances are, you were born with some aspects of mental toughness. Or you might have some of the personality traits that contribute to it. Meaning that regardless of your age, your status, or your role, you can still develop many of the attributes that make up mental toughness. And actually, some aspects of mental toughness grow and develop as it comes with maturity and wider perspective when someone grows older. So, di ba, parang habang tumatanda ka, mas na-develop yung mental strength mo. And but just like any other skill that can be learned, there are of course advantages of learning and having mental toughness even at an early age. So second myth that we have, mental strength is just about your mind. O di ba? Kasi nga mental eh. So parang pag inisip mo, hindi, sa utak lang yan. But really, your body and mind are connected. And with that, they influence each other. So as they influence each other, it's important to learn skills that might optimize all factors that impact one's performance. So both the body and the mind. An example of this would be a situation, when things don't go according to the plan, di ba? And then, you get so critical of yourself, you talk to yourself ng parang talagang kawawa naman, you beat yourself up. So, meaning, yun yung mental response mo. But the connection of that is sa physical aspect mo is yun nga, dami mo sinasabing masasamang salita sa sarili mo. So what we can do to encourage mental strength is to change how you talk to yourself, diba? So that's just one example. Another example of the connection between the mind and the body when it comes to mental strength is minsan iba yung pag may game or pag may pangyayari na talagang yung kumakabog-kabog yung puso mo, yung hindi mo alam. Like for me during that race, yung talagang hindi ko na alam yung puso ko, di ba? Parang lalabas yata sa katawan ko. But when you get anxious and you're unable to concentrate, one way that you can do that is to learn strategies on breathing, diba? And other relaxation techniques. So you see there's a connection. And mental strength is not just about the mind. Another myth is that I can only build mental strength by myself. Ayan, di ba? Yan yung lagi natin iniisip. Kaya ko naman to, solo. Ako lang to. But really, the people around you can boost your growth and development. Your family, your friends, and other influential people you have in your life, like your bosses, or even if you have a coach, diba? They can do that for you. In fact, having one trusting relationship can boost your resilience when things get tough because someone is encouraging you, someone is motivating you, diba? Mental toughness grows when you look to those around you for support and encouragement. Myth number 4, mental strength is about ignoring emotions. Yan, di ba? Parang, hindi eh. Ito to, pag mentally strong ka, wala ka nararamdaman. O, di ba? Parang, what? Stoic lang. But really, we hear people say, kaya siya, kaya yan mahina kasi nagpapadala sa emosyon. Diba? But mental strength is really about identifying, managing, and finding constructive ways to express our feelings. So again, connected sila. Our thoughts are connected with our emotions. Diba nga? Sabi natin kanina, we've established that. So mental strength can be about harnessing our feelings, whether it's a positive or a negative feeling, such as anger or frustration, and knowing how we can use it to our advantage and how we can utilize it for the best. Diba? So, part yon ng mental strength. Myth number 5, mentally strong people never fail. Yan, yun nga yung naririnig natin minsan na, what do you call this? mahinang nilalang, o, di ba? Kaya siya kaya siya bumigay, mahinang nilalang, di ba? Meron pa tayong mga kasabihan recently yung, ay, marupok siya. So, the truth is, failure is essential to building mental strength. It's essential, it's vital. If you never experience failure, you might not have the chance to learn and grow from it. Diba? And what sets mentally strong people from others is how they handle themselves after failure. It's not about not failing, but it's about how they you know pick themselves up, how they recalibrate and move around when things do not go according to plan. They work hard to see what contributed to the failure. Some of them, they seek help and they try new solutions, and they work even harder to prevent it from happening again. So that's the difference of those who are mentally strong and those who are not mentally strong, but still needs improvement or still needs development in their mental strength. And the sixth myth I'd like to share about mental toughness is that many people think that mentally strong people never feel stress or they never get stressed. But the truth of the matter is that everyone feels the impact of stress at some point in his or her life. Diba? But mentally tough people are able to just balance their fast-paced lives with plenty of recovery, and they also develop habits to use this stress to their advantage. So that's the difference. And I think this is very important to mention right now, lalo na in the middle of this pandemic, when a lot of people, dati di ba parang iilan-ilan lang yung halata. Pero ngayon, we know that everyone is facing a lot of challenges, whether it be job loss, illness, and for some, it's even death. Becoming mentally strong and building resiliency are very important right now to ensure that we survive, and not just survive, but that we thrive in this situation that we are in. So, I just want to share this thought. Strength doesn't come from what you do, it comes from overcoming the things you thought you couldn't. Diba? Sabi ko nga kanina life's battles are first won or lost in the mind. And just like any battle, we have to be prepared. Not just with weapons to help us combat these thoughts, but we should also train ourselves, the discipline of training ourselves and our minds to face the battle within us. Because you see, the strongest muscle and the worst enemy a person could ever have is your mind. So that's why we need to train it well. And now that we understand, diba, that our minds are really very powerful, and but at the same time it can be made stronger. I'd like to share with you some of the reasons why we need to train our minds to be mentally strong. Yung hindi tayo makukontento na, okay naman na ako wala naman ako ibang iniisip, pwede na to. But really, I want to share with you why there is value in being mentally strong and tough, especially in the situation that we are in right now. So first reason is that mental strength can help you bounce back from failure. Diba? Talagang bounce back. Kasi it's inevitable that we will face failure in our lives. But it's always how we deal with them that shows how mentally strong we are. Whereas some people would just give up after one failure, people who are mentally strong see it as a valuable lesson on the road to success, and they quickly try to recalibrate their steps, try to find other solutions, and go back on the road again, try again. And, hopefully, as they bounce back, this time they'll be able to reach their goals. So that's one of the reasons, very important, why we need to cultivate mental strength in our lives. The second reason is that mental strength can also help us regulate our emotions. Di ba nga kanina yung myth, ang sabi niya parang, mental strength is all about the mind. Wala namang emotions dyan. But really, when you cultivate your mental strength, it helps us regulate our emotions. Because you see, every journey to success brings out a lot of emotions in us. Some good, some bad, diba? And if we don't learn how to regulate them, they will influence our decisions and probably could even lead us to the wrong path. One example na lang is when we don't get our way and then we get frustrated over something. So yung frustration na yun, it can turn to anger. And then sometimes in our anger, we say things, we burst out words that we don't really mean. And in the end, relationships are broken. Ba? All because we were not able to regulate our emotions. And why were we not able to regulate our emotions? Because we were not mentally strong. So by building mental strength, we can control our emotions and not let them take over our decisions. Third reason, mental strength can provide courage to face your fears. This I like. Kasi di ba, we don't like to find ourselves in unfamiliar situations. That is why many of us, I included, remain in our comfort zones. And because of that, we never experience true transformation. Takot tayo. So going back to my story kanina when I said nga that when I started my journey of becoming a triathlete, fear ko kasi talaga yung lumangoy. And not just because I don't know how to swim kasi natututunan naman yun eh. May mga coaches, may mga teachers, diba? Instructors, but my fear is visual kasi akong tao. So, minsan, pag sa open water, nai-imagine ko na may mga creatures na hihila ng legs mo, hihilain ka pa ba, malulunod ka na, yung ganon. So, yun yung fear ko. But I know that if I don't get over that fear, I would never be able to swim in open water. Na usually, yun naman talaga pag triathlon, hindi naman siya sa pool. And if that happens, then of course, my goal and my objective of becoming a triathlete will never happen. So I really had to face that, even when it's very uncomfortable for me. Even if nandun ako sa ilalim ng tubig, tapos na-imagine ko na talaga yung mga tentacles na gumaganon. I mean, I had to face that. And when I was able to face it, doon na nag-start din yung journey ko. Doon ko nakita na, kaya naman pala. Ma-overcome ko to. Kailangan lang talagang baguhin ang pag-iisip. So being mentally strong enables you to be confident enough to endure the discomfort and face your fear. And it's only by constantly challenging ourselves and you facing your fears will you be able to make true progress towards success. Reason number 4, mental strength can keep your self-worth in check. Whatever goal you are trying to reach, at some point during the journey, you will likely start to question yourself and start doubting whether you are good enough or you are capable enough to achieve it. Many, if not all of us, have experienced this at some point in our lives. But raise your hands or type it in the comments section if you experienced this recently or at least once in your life. I do, many times. And nakakapanghina ng loob kapag inisip mo siya. Kapag winelcome mo siya sa utak mo. But mentally strong people know their value and where their value is anchored. Alam nila yung worth nila. So when they come across such situations, such thinking, diba? They are confident enough to tune out the voice of self-doubt and keep going with their self-worth afloat. Hindi sila nalulunod, hindi sila kinakain. Hindi sila nagsi-self-destruct. This character trait is very essential, lalo na nowadays you hear a lot of stories of people committing suicide, of the rising cases of suicide. Of course, there are a lot of reasons behind that, but there are also some stories na because they didn't see value in living their lives anymore, they don't know where to find hope anymore, kaya they gave up. And sadly, that happened. So that's why we really encourage developing mental strength, because life is valuable, life is worth living. And when things like this tend to overwhelm you, know that knowing your self-worth is also allowing yourself to, when you know your self-worth, you will be able to overcome anything. You'll be able to hold on and push on kasi alam mo na may value, may pinanghahawakan ka. So for the 5th reason why it's important for us to be mentally tough, mental strength can keep you motivated. O, di ba? What do you do when you lose sight of the reason that you are doing something and you want to drop everything? Kapag wala nang nag-cheer sa'yo, wala nang naniniwala sa'yo, wala nang nag-encourage sa'yo, diba? That's when mental strength serves you well. Your mental strength will be your own cheerleader. It helps you to push on even when you think you have no strength to do so. It helps you find that strength within yourself and makes you remember what your goal is. There is a saying that goes, when the going gets tough, the tough one keeps going. Ang tanong, are you tough enough? Reason number 6, mental strength can help you learn from your mistakes. When we make a mistake, many of us suddenly suffer from this disease called excusitis. Diba? We try to find an excuse to justify our actions, to escape the feeling of guilt and shame that comes with it. But if we justify our mistakes just to lessen our guilt, it only sets us on the path of repeating these same mistakes. Mental strength gives you the ability to acknowledge that you are responsible for your mistakes. Of course, your mistakes, your own responsibility, no one else. Admitting to yourself that you were wrong will help you avoid making the same mistake in the future, which is a valuable lesson that will help you grow. Being mentally tough allows us to accept responsibility for our actions, which can turn this mistake and misstep into an opportunity for growth. And this growth, once we've acknowledged it, will also be one of the keys to help us succeed in our goals and achieve our dreams. Strength doesn't come from what you do. It comes from overcoming the things you thought you couldn't do. And there's both good news and bad news in relation to how we live our lives. The bad news is that we will all experience setbacks and failures more than once. It's inevitable. But the good news is that no matter who you are, no matter what you've been told, or no matter what you currently believe, you can develop the mental toughness you need to overcome. Edmond Mbiaka, an athlete, said, the strength of your mind will determine the quality of your life. And so to build mental strength that we desire for our lives, we have to cultivate habits that will develop it. These are some of the habits that we can cultivate to help us develop our mental toughness. Number 1 is to start with small daily actions. We cannot think our way to mental strength. We cannot just sit here and think, I will have mental strength, I will have mental strength, and that's it. No, we have to work for it. And instead of working on it and targeting big achievements, we do it by building on small daily accomplishments. In order to build the mental muscle, we have to push ourselves in a myriad of small ways to build that. For example, you want to lose weight, and you're thinking, okay, I need to lose 30 pounds. You don't go from today wanting to lose 30 pounds and then the following day you already lose it. No, you have to work hard for it. One way that you can do that is to start small. Probably plan a small a cardio exercise, muscle strengthening exercise, daily and daily. It's something that you have to develop and really you really make a deliberate schedule and commitment to do, because as you cultivate self-discipline in doing these daily actions, then you also develop the fortitude to follow through with these steps and these daily actions that you have committed to do. So next thing is to, of course, take responsibility. Take ownership of both your actions and where you find yourself. Diba? Once you do, you will be in a position of strength, and you will move from having a victim mindset to having authority and taking control of your life. Victim mindset, that thinking that you're always a victim, immobilizes you. You're unable to move. Kasi nga, ang naiisip mo, biktima lang ako sa sitwasyon ko, biktima ako ng pagkakataon. Whereas, if you see yourself, if you take responsibility for the situations or the actions that brought you to where you are, you realize, okay, I am in this position, I can take control of it, here's what I can do. You will be able to propel yourself to take the necessary and appropriate actions to move from where you currently are to where you want to be. Habit number 3, It's to accept that life has its ups and downs. Just like our landscape, we have the mountains, we have the valleys. Hindi siya isang patag lang na ganun. And same with life. Life is never predictable, and oftentimes it's never fair. We need to come to terms with that. That we have to accept that there will be many things in our life that we have no control over. Because when we accept that premise, then we can avoid wasting time being frustrated and fighting moments that we do not like, in favor of dealing with moments that are good, that we can control, that can add value to what we are doing. So we have to accept that and know that for this certain situation we may not have control of it. Look at the other side. What are the things you can control? What can you do? What can you change? And focus on that. Habit number 4, get physical. And I don't mean physical na magsasapakan ha, but physical activities. It's no secret that physical fitness promotes mental toughness and fitness, of course. Exercise is not only vital for maintaining, mental fitness and reducing stress, it also enhances our cognitive functions and our concentration. In fact, scientific research has proven that regular exercise elevates and stabilizes mood, it improves sleep patterns, and boosts our overall quality of life. So the mentally tough are usually also very physically tough. Habit number 5, surround yourself with positive people and positive influences. Strive to be around people who are able to help lift your mood and offer solutions to your predicaments, or even if it's not solution, to help you process what you're going through, what's in your mind. Someone who will support you and encourage you instead of bringing you down. And if you cannot be around positive people, endeavor to find someone you can talk to, at least someone that you can um, vent on, or someone na yung masyasharan mo lang talaga ng iniisip mo. It may not be someone who will give you the answers to that you're looking for, but at least someone who can help you go through what is happening in your mind and probably give you a different perspective, or help lead you to have a different mindset on what is happening. And this is actually where mental health professionals and life coaches come in. So if if it's something that you are looking for, or kung wala kang makausap na iba, then you can consider looking for professional help. There are a lot of people who are trained to do this, and you just have to know which ones you want and you are willing to talk to. You can also read encouraging books, and there are a lot of encouraging books that talk about experiences of those who have managed to overcome great odds. There are biographies, there are inspiring books, but whatever it is that you choose, whether it's a positive person or a positive influence in the form of books, surround yourself with it. Make sure that you have access to that, especially when the going gets tough. Yung hindi mo na sila hahanapin, andyan na sila agad, because you will need it, and it will spell a huge difference in your life when you have these positive influences around you, supporting you and cheering you on. And last but not least, you have to cultivate the habit of letting go. Once you've done everything in your power to address a problem or a challenge, let go. Have faith that everything will work out as intended. We have a God who is in control of the situation. You don't have to hold on to things that cannot be changed by merely wishing it will change. When you let go of these things that are holding you back, it helps also relieve your stress, anxiety, worries, and overall remove negative anticipation. So let go. There are other things that you can hold on to than those things that are holding you back. Let them go. So as we develop mental toughness, have to understand that it's not really about eradicating weaknesses or just having an optimistic outlook in life. Mental strength, mental toughness is about persevering in the face of adversity, taking on every challenge life throws at you with curiosity, resolve, and compassion. It's about taking risks and building your self confidence. The more you practice mental toughness, the tougher you will become. So, in closing, I want to share to you this quote from Michael Jordan. And he said, "If you're trying to achieve, there will be roadblocks. I've had them. Everybody has had them. But obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, you don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it." When we experience challenges in our lives, may this encouragement from the scriptures be our anchor. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance, and that perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Mental strength and mental toughness will help us get through whatever we are experiencing in life. It will help us achieve our goals. It will help improve our quality of life. So, after this talk, you've realized that mental strength is something that you want to know more about, or it's something that you want to develop. You want to have that grit and mental toughness that can get you going so you can pursue your unstoppable dream and your visions. If you really want to have that full and abundant life that God has prepared for you, or you simply want to cultivate the mental fortitude to live every single day with hope, with anticipation of what else is there. I would like to invite you to a conversation. Let's talk about it and have a breakthrough conversation. Here's my details. Get in touch with me. You may contact me at my phone. I've also included my email, and you can also look me up in my Facebook page, Purposeful Heart Coaching by Maan. So once again, my heartfelt thank you for taking the time to listen today. I hope to see you again next Monday at 2 p.m. And do join us for another coaching conversation later with Coach Tin for Coaching for Relationship at 4 p.m. Once again, this is Coach Maan from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us from the Philippines. Love, bang, boom! Bye!